Hey guys, welcome back. Delta Play Gaming back with more God of War 1 and Greek mythology lectures. So, hopefully we can try and wrap up Dionysus, if not get pretty close to it. So, like I said before, that there have been a good number of like mystery cults with some of the gods back in Greek mythology, and again, there's also one for Dionysus. However, there's no real civic affiliations. It's not like for the ultra rich, for the ultra poor. It's just kind of like anybody. I could worship Zeus, but at the same time, I could also worship Dionysus or somebody. I could worship or be a part of multiple different cults, but also be a part of the mystery cult to Dionysus. There's no real you must be this kind of prerequisite. However, there is some form of an initiation, although not many. It's not exactly known exactly I have to walk across broken bottles, or I have to know how to, know the difference between this red wine and that red wine. And it's just, there are some initiations that are involved. It's just, it's not really, at least especially not here, no, it's exactly told what those initiations were. Like I said also, it doesn't preclude to other beliefs or religions, so it's not exactly just because I might be, a part of Zeus's cult or Zeus's religion or this religion or that religion, that I still can't also be a part of the religion or the mystery cult for Dionysus. And the one thing that we do know is that it did offer something more beneficial to those who are initiated. And again, it's also wine. It's also something that could be seen as something beneficial. So, again, it's not, like I said, it's not really linked to any particular priesthood or any specific temple. It was more of just kind of a, I pray on my own kind of concept. Which, that's not too bad of a deal. You just kind of do your own kind of thing. I don't have to go, I don't have to get up dressed up nice every Sunday and go down to the next city, town, or whatever over to pray at this temple kind of thing. Some of the itinerant priests, they might gather to worship, just if it's more because of the fact that it could be seen more of hey, we're going to worship Dionysus and we're bringing wine. So it could be kind of in a sense, a bit of a social gathering. You can kind of view it in that kind of a sense, where we're still getting together to pray, but we're pretty much, there's going to be a lot of wine involved, or some form of wine involved. Women, they played a big role in it because of how, with Hera trying to make him go mad, and how he had a sacred marriage, and how he basically lived with the nymphs, how it was basically this whole, women played a big role in Dionysus's creation and, his upbringing and things of that nature, so they, again, also continue to play a large role. However, some people were a bit more skeptical of the Dionysus, the mystery, the Dionysian mysteries. They kind of about how he was born, how he went mad, or maybe there's just some things that they're just kind of it doesn't really, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't think so. That's not good. So, some of the initiations that we do know of, there was the Villa of Mysteries, which it's kind of hard to show this. There's a visual in one of my notes, but there were, paintings and murals of, or was left of it, because there's a big chunk of it that's kind of missing from just decay from years and years. But some ancient authors suggest there's something kind of dark. There was a house that was in Pompeii that you can see. And if you look at it, you can actually look inside. There's probably another Google image you can probably find. But you just see a couple people, but like this big chunk of the mural is just missing from, decay and not having the proper, preservative abilities that we do now. So it's kind of, you can kind of see how everything plays out, but at the same time, unless you really know what you're looking at, you might just kind of look at it as just a painting of just, there's a winged person, a woman, a couple big eyes, they're just kind of, they don't look like they're, it's not like Washington crossing the Delaware. You see what they're doing. They're just kind of, they look like they're just kind of just hanging out in this row kind of thing. Now, another one that part of the mystery cult of Dionysus is the orgia. It's the and you can kind of see too that if you look at this at the orgia and then read about it and then look at that mural, you can kind of get a better sense of it as to what, okay, I get that. It kind of makes a bit more sense. But basically, the orgia is it's like a religious practice of the Dionysus, and there are some different, overall descriptions of the whole thing. But in one description, it would be like female worshippers would dance, sing, pray, shout, basically just kind of just having a good time, just letting themselves go. They're singing their praises, they're praising their praises, they're shouting, they're praying, they're just basically, showing their devotion, showing their, yes, I'm devout to being a Dionysian. Now, and then on top of that, there are some, again, it could be, from how there's different stories, origins and things of that nature. There's some that say there was just only female, and then others that say it was a mixture of men and women. So it's, it's different interpretations, basically. Now, in the Euripides' Bache, or Bacchae, it also suggests sparagmos, which sparagmos basically means tearing apart a sacrificial victim. Now, this could be, someone is literally torn apart, or they do a figurative victim. That way, literally nobody gets killed. But then again, with all the whole dark implementations, it could be that it really was. That it actually really was. Someone was literally ripped apart. And sparagmos is often associated with homophagia, which is basically eating the sacrificial victim raw. So again, it leads more into, it could be a person that was a sacrificial victim, or it could have just been something that they normally offer, like a goat or a bull, or any other sort of animal, and instead of actually doing what they need to do for their sacrifices, the proper way, I guess you'd call it, they just, hey, grab that leg, grab this leg, grab that leg, I'll grab this one, 1, 2, 3, pull. okay, he didn't come apart. 1, 2, 3, pull. And basically just do it over and over and over until, well, it's literally ripped apart, and then we get to eat whatever's there. So, it does, you can tell it does have some of its dark implementations. But again, going back to those who have I don't think they would literally rip apart a sacrificial person. They might do it as more of like, some people might think, and this again, it's all speculation, it's not really known. Pandora's box. So, cutscene.
Kratos, your quest is at an end. You are the first mortal to ever reach Pandora's box. There is still time to save Athens. You must bring the box back to my city and use it to kill Ares. Return to Athens, Kratos. Return and save my city.
Unless I was mistaken, isn't Arachne? I don't remember her being a god. I remember she was turned into a spider. But the whole him being the first mortal, I thought Arachne was the first. Not Arachne. Persephone? I'll have to go back, but I thought somebody else got Pandora's box. Oh well. Okay, so like I was saying, this with it being speculation and not 100% of it, and here's on record as to here's what all we did, kind of thing. Some people might have viewed it as they had a
You must bring Pandora's
totem
box back to Athens, Kratos. You cannot defeat Ares without it.
So basically, it was a totem sacrificial. So something like they might just make something out of like burlap, straw, make a scarecrow essentially, kind of deal. Pull it apart, and then they would eat something afterwards. They might eat raw goat, or they might eat raw meat, or something to that effect, or they might just eat raw foods.
After 1,000 years, Pandora's box was at last freed of its confines. Kratos had found the means to destroy the god of war. Far away in Athens, Ares knew Kratos had succeeded in his quest.
So, little Spartan, you've recovered Zeus's precious box, but you will not live long enough to see it opened. I will see to that. Goodbye, Spartan. You will rot in the depths of Hades for all eternity.
As the life began to leave
Pretty
Kratos,
accurate.
his thoughts returned to that fateful night. Even in death, the memories, the visions would not fade. For how could he forget spilling the blood of his own family? A cruel trick orchestrated by the god of war.
My wife, my child, how? They were left in Sparta.
You are becoming all I'd hoped you'd be, Kratos. Now, with your wife and child dead, nothing will hold you back. You'll become even stronger. You will become death itself.
But as the flames consumed the temple, Kratos realized his true enemy was the god who once saved his life. The same god who had now taken everything from him.
Ares!
From this night forward, the mark of your terrible deed will be visible to all. The ashes of your wife and child will remain fastened to your skin, never to be removed.
And with that curse, All would know him for the beast he had become. His skin white with the ash of his dead family. The ghost of Sparta had been born. In the end, in death, he had failed. As the minions of Ares claimed Pandora's box, Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades. And Kratos fell into the Underworld, the river Styx beckoning below, the currents strong enough to carry even the strongest mortal to his eternal resting place. But Kratos had no intention of resting yet. He intended to live, to return to Earth and complete his quest.
Let go, fool! You won't drag me down to that cursed river!
There is a task left for me above. I will see it completed.
You again? Oh.
They definitely like made it more like a Christianity type version of hell. But this is a good point to stop because this is the end of this lecture. So if you're enjoying this, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video, and we will start a new lecture.